Hey there, in this video we're going to be going over our slide position chart and note names for our first set of notes on the trombone. We're going to be creating these notes because it's the best way to get them into our brains and have a reference to look at. So we are going to be drawing in our note names, the letters. We are going to be drawing them on the staff exactly as they would appear in our music. And then we are also going to be writing in what slide position they will be in on our trombone. Slide position refers to how far you have to extend your slide. We will also write some helping hints in these boxes for that. So let's start off here. We're going to start off with B flat. Now we always use capital letters when we write these in. I said B, and then I said the word flat. That's a musical marking that we refer by drawing a little, it looks like a lowercase b, but instead of just being a normal bump on the bottom, it's kind of slanted, okay? And that just means that we lower the note. We'll talk about that a little bit later. So our B flat is going to exist on the staff in the bass clef. Now, if you accidentally clicked on a different video, chances are that you saw me draw a treble clef with the other instruments like flute or percussion, but the trombone is special in that we use the bass clef, also called the F clef or C clef. What we're going to do is start with our pencil down on our second to top line, go up, loop back, and it's almost like we're drawing half of a heart. Once we draw on half of a heart, we're going to put one little dot in the top space, one little dot in the bottom space, and call it even. Now, some people call it the C clef because it looks like the letter C backwards, but that's wrong. It's called an F clef, if you want to call a letter, because these two dots are above and below the F line. We'll get to that note later. But for B flat, we're going to draw our whole note on top of the staff. It's going to sit on there just as if you place the ball on top of a desk, just right on there. It doesn't sag below because the ball can't fall through the desk. It's solid. And it doesn't float because we all know that nothing floats. All right? Now this B flat is going to be in first position. So you can draw the number 1. And then we're also going to write a little helper in parentheses. All the way in. Close that out. So that means that we're playing trombone. Our slide is going to be all the way in to our trombone as far as we can get it. All right, let's go to our next note. Our next note's going to be A. Making sure we have enough boxes. Our A is going to need another bass clef. Don't worry if you're not getting these perfect right away. You can always erase it because you're using a pencil. Hint, hint. Using a pencil, erase it, and try it again. We want to get them perfect, but we can take multiple attempts to get them perfect. So our A is going to exist on the very top line of the staff. We're going to draw our half note, our whole note rather. We're going to make sure that when we draw notes on lines that they go above and below the line, but they do not touch the line below it. All right? If they touch the line below it, gets confusing on what note you're trying to draw. We want to be as specific as possible so that we and anybody else reading our music can know exactly what we want. A is going to be in second position. We can draw a little ST up top. Now, second position is just a few inches out. All right, so when you're holding our trombone slide, it's just a few inches out. We'll cover where slide positions are exactly in a different video. But for now, we're just going to leave our hints. Next note that we're going to draw is G. Remember to put capital letters. We're going to need another bass clef. Don't forget those dots. G is in the top space. When you're drawing in a space, make sure you touch the line above and touch the line below, but don't dip below or else it gets confusing again. All right, this is going to be in fourth position. All right, fourth position, our hint is going to be a little past the bell. All right, again, we'll get to these hints later and we'll figure out what they really mean in a different video. Moving on to our next note, it's going to be F. We're about halfway through here. F is going to exist on the fourth line from the bottom. So we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4. Fourth line, a great whole note, and then we are in first position, all the way in. Next thing, we are going to draw an E flat. Remember that flat sign looks like a lowercase b but slanted. Okay? E flat needs a bass clef. Bass clef means that we're playing low notes. You know the trombone sounds like a deep instrument, and if we didn't draw a bass clef, we wouldn't be exactly sure what notes we need to play. E is going to be on the third space from the bottom. We're going to count 1, 2, 3, draw an E, and we are in third position. Third position, we're going to be at the bell. Next note, let's power through these last three. Let's get that bass clef ready because we know we need it. We're drawing a D. Again, capital letters. Always want to be clear. D is the middle line. It's the third line from the bottom. So we're going to count 1, 2, 3. All right, and we are in fourth position. Just like before, a little past the bell. Our next note is C. Now don't be afraid if I'm going too fast. Don't be afraid to pause the video or to rewind. It's on here. You can go ahead and watch it as you please. C is going to be the second space from the bottom. We're going to count 1, 2. And we are in sixth position. Now here's the hint for this one. You kind of have to hear where this note is with your ears, but my hint for you is reach. Unless you're super tall for your age, if you're in 5th grade that is, you're going to have to go all the way out with your arms. If you are older in high school or an adult, you're going to need to not go totally far out because your arms get longer. But most generally, you're going to have to reach pretty far out for 6th position. Our final note that we're writing down for this set is B flat. Remember to get that flat sign nice and curved. Another bass clef. That looks pretty fancy. I like that one. And B flat is the bottom line. No. Second from bottom line. Oh, I was thinking too far ahead. So second, 1, 2. We're going to draw it here, a whole note. We are back in first position, which is all the way in. Now, please don't stop the video. Super important. We have to go back and fix a couple things. When a note has a flat sign next to the letter, for now, it also has to have a flat sign next to the note on the left side. So we're going to go back to all of our notes with flats, and we're going to draw a nice flat sign either on the line or, in the case of E, in that space right before the note. Another time where we want to be very precise. Otherwise, we're not telling the person to play E flat. If we didn't put that flat, they would read it and say, E, I can play that. We got to make sure that we put E flat, or what it looks like, flat E. That's just how we do it. All right, everybody, make sure you have your name on top. Everything's filled out. I'll give you one final look. Note names, pictures, and positions for all of these notes. Make sure they're nice and neat. I'm going to ask you to refer to these instead of asking me questions during lessons. Get this in your folder with all the other papers, band music, and I will see you at your next lesson.